and welcome to a special episode of the Head Turner Season 3. Today we are honored to have with us an industry leader whose work is shaping the future of sustainability in textiles. Miss Ruchita Chhabra, Grower Engagement Director at Sourcery. Ruchita has been at the forefront of driving transparency in the supply chain, a crucial first step towards sustainability. It's a pleasure to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much, Payal, for this lovely opportunity and introduction. And I am really excited to share my experiences, my insights, and my thoughts with our, co-partners in the industry, explaining exactly what we do, how we are, evolving into traceability, and how it is becoming so important every day for all the supply chain partners to adopt traceability and transparency and get ready for the future.
For sure. Before we dive in, could you share a bit about your journey? What has been your focus at the sorcery and how have you been your initiatives impacted the industry so far?
Sure. So I have been in the industry for over 2 decades now, and my initial decade was spent learning about sourcing and merchandising, working with manufacturing houses in India, working with buying houses and buying agencies in India, representing Western brands, global brands of big and small size, and sourcing for them from all over India and Bangladesh and China and so on. So that gave me a good insight into how the commercial part of the industry works. And then after having spent a decade and a half into sourcing, I decided to switch towards sustainable cotton sector. And that's where I had my first experience of what I feel the most ignored part of the supply chain.
Mhm.
Till we were working into businesses, we were all aware and had visibility into where the garment came from, where the fabric came from, where the yarn came from. But beyond the yarn, in my experience, we didn't have much understanding of, where the suppliers are or what happens to cotton at a raw stage.
True.
So it's only when I stepped into the cotton raw material side of the supply chain, I witnessed that side of the sector, that side
Mhm.
of the supply chain, which is the first leg of the supply chain,
Right.
mostly treated as
Initial.
the last leg.
Hmm.
Yes. And yeah, and in my learning, cotton not only starts at cotton crop, it starts at cotton seed manufacturing. So those
Right.
are such crucial parts of the whole sector where the whole sector depends upon. And that is where a lot of the attention is needed right now. So that gave me a complete outlook onto how the industry works from cotton seed production. I mean, how the cotton value chain works actually,
Right.
from cotton seed till the end consumer. So that has been my journey, a mix of commercials, a mix of sustainability, a mix of social development, a mix of agriculture too, along with textiles.
Hmm.
So I think I have been lucky. I've had such rich experience as of now, and there's continuous learning and growth every day.
I mean, for sure, 2 decades is not a short time, and
Absolutely.
which which says about now that we're talking about transparency, it is considered as a cornerstone of sustainability. What do you think that what are the most significant benefits that brands and suppliers can gain by adopting the transparent trade approach?
So, what we have understood from our experience, transparency sometimes can be taken with a bit of a hesitance. It is, there is reluctance. Sometimes it is perceived as a threat that if we are transparent about our trading
Mhm.
practices, our trade secrets, so to say, then all our information of how we are operating will be out in the open, and the information can be maybe used against us for costings, for questioning practices, and so on. But at the same time, uh, you know, even if there are those kind of sentiments, transparency is soon going to be mandatory in the coming
Mhm.
years.
Right.
And not only taking it as something mandatory, we have come a little ahead in our understanding and adoption of supply chain. Earlier on, these sentiments were there, but today there is open dialogue between
Mm-hmm.
b- buying side and the selling side
Yeah.
about being transparent in their practices, in their data, in their information. And there is, there is more understanding, there is more acceptance that if we are being transparent, that is not to feel exposed, but to show that this is our current status quo of the practices and these are the challenges that are on the ground, and how all of us in the supply chain, buying side and selling side, can together work to
Work.
address
Mm-hmm.
those challenges. So instead
True.
of a threat, this has now become an open dialogue involving both sides, and it is becoming like an open channel to address challenges in a collaborative way.
The scrutiny doesn't have to necessarily be threatening. It's more how it's supposed to be, how we're supposed to be operating.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we are open about how we are working, where we are sourcing from,
Mm-hmm.
we cannot measure what we cannot see. And if we
Right.
cannot measure, how can we improve? So the
Right.
first thing is to be transparent, to do the whole mapping of your supply chain. The second thing is to analyze where the current status quo is and where the
Mm-hmm.
challenges are. And the third step will be to work upon improvement. And this is why the sustainability goals were set in the first place for all
Mm-hmm. Right.
organizations. This is what sustainability is about, right? And at
True.
Sourcery, this is exactly what we are promoting, we're encouraging, and this is what our model is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Our model is direct to grower solution, where we connect all supply chain actors together to, who suppliers and brands who want to connect directly with the growers.
Mm-hmm.
We allow and we promote and we encourage a safe trading environment
Mm-hmm.
so that every partner has more accountability, and that leads to more trust. If every partner is accountable for their own
Actions.
performance,
Mm-hmm.
yes, that we are supposed to do the right thing. And if there is that kind of accountability, there will be automatically trust. If there
True.
will be trust, transparency and traceability are an outcome of trust. So what we are building is a trading platform with trust and a safe trading environment, also delivering verifiable impact, also delivering equitable impact. We are also introducing new concepts of all supply chain
Mm-hmm.
stakeholders having equity in the whole model.
Which is crucial at this point. I mean, it cannot be ignored any more than what we've done over the years. I mean, the negligence that has been there over the period of time. We're past that.
That's true. That's true. And collaboration and trust have, merely become buzzwords, but no, we have action points to form collaboration and form trust. And we have built it in our model so that
Mm-hmm.
the solution we are offering delivers those things.
Mm-hmm.
When there is greater visibility, there is more rapport building, there is more trust building. If the supplier can see where his raw material is being linked into, the buyers can see where their material is being sourced from, there is more access to each other, there is more exchange of information at all levels, and there is long-term relationship building from that. And when it comes to relationship building,
Mm-hmm.
that brings more certainty and lowering risk. So business and ethics, go hand in hand, and this is what our model is going to be all about.
That's insightful. So, I mean, scaling this transparent chain model, it definitely comes with its own set of challenges as well. So, from your perspective, what would be the biggest roadblock in this journey and how can they be addressed?
So digitization is a big way to scale things up. I mean, look at what Uber did, look at what Google did, look at what Airbnb did. Like we all look at reports now, Uber did not buy a single cab, or
Mm-hmm.
Airbnb did not buy a single real estate piece,
Right.
but they scaled up the whole industry, and they were essentially about transparency, connections, linkages, mitigating risks. And this is how digitization can scale up, transparency at this moment. Our transparent trade platform is about not only about trading, but is also bringing a digital trade platform.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the challenges from our experiences that we could be facing on the ground, infrastructure availability and access of digital platforms at farm levels.
Right.
Since we are about reaching the farmers, the authentic source of the fiber,
Mm-hmm.
which itself is a big challenge today. Um, so our platform allows access to the farmers on ground, the authentic source, but also onboarding them on our digital platform. And digitization at rural level can be sometimes a challenge for scalability,
Mm-hmm.
but this the sector needs to attend to and invest into for a better infrastructure development, better digital platform access, and education and technology awareness for all partners. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not only mean farmers, I mean at all levels. The adaptation or adaptability needs to be worked upon, right? We are
Right.
in the middle of times. We are very quickly, the technology is bringing very speedy changes in
Right.
our living world, in our business worlds. So if we want to adapt to these times, and
Mm-hmm.
we want to adapt for, taking up the future, or how do I say, align with future.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to be adaptable and be ready for the future, we want to invest in infrastructure development and better access of technology
Mm-hmm.
at all levels for all stakeholders. This will mean capacity building for everyone, better
Right.
internet access for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
and that explaining how things work and why things work and what we are working towards. That will help easy adaptation at ground level. And by
Right.
ground, I mean supply level and farm level all.
Mm-hmm. Whoever.
That, yes, and that
Mm-hmm.
will lead to driven decision making. So,
Right.
what for these challenges, what can help is collaboration, a promotion of collaboration among multiple stakeholders, monitoring progress, taking it as continuous improvement, not looking at it as black or white, that, oh,
Mm-hmm.
this partner is blacklisted or this partner is cancelled out. No, we have to look at this as a continuous improvement culture and not as a cancellation culture. So these are the ways we can, work towards scaling up transparent trade and digitization. Yes.
Right. Earlier I was in a conversation with someone who said the farmers are actually reluctant about sharing their details when it comes to transparency because so then how do we deal with that?
Uh, so one thing is, if I am a farmer and I have several organizations coming to me for data, at
Mm-hmm.
one point I will want to question them, where is this data going? What's happening to the data? And why am I asked for the data so many times? This
Right.
is because till date, the farmers are not being included in the uh,
Conversations.
revenues that conversations and the revenues that are coming from the data. So when I
Oh,
say
right.
our, right, all that
Mm-hmm.
data is being used by big organizations for selling back pesticides or fertilizers to the farmers, or selling back precision agriculture models to the farmers. First,
Mm-hmm.
everyone wants to understand how the farmers operate. Then they want to understand how to, the assessment of data. After assessment of data, they make business models based on the data, and they're selling back their businesses to the farmers on that data. Or
Right.
even wanting to cut down on costs with the farmers. After learning how the farmers costs are, production cost, they want to negotiate. So that is one reason farmers are now learning that they are not included in the
Mm-hmm.
profits or the benefits from the data, so they are becoming reluctant. But at Sourcery, the model we are bringing to the market is equitable impact, which means all the data sharing stakeholders will earn from the data that they are sharing. I mean, we are delivering we are not we are building and developing a data marketplace through
Mhm.
our Sourcery Connect app. This
Mhm.
app is soon going to be launched for the whole industry to come on board, and this app allows all stakeholders to be a part of the trading platform, right from farm till the brands.
Mhm.
And every stakeholder is has provisions to enter their data, so that by the end of the season, the whole supply chain is visible on the app. And once this takes off,
Mhm.
there are revenues from the data, and then all stakeholders get get their return on their equity. The more the organization grows, the more the data is entered, the more the organization grows. The more the organization grows, the
Mhm.
more there is return on everyone's equity. And farmers are also going to have equity because they are also adding value to this.
Right.
I mean, I'm inviting all the supply chain partners, if they're interested, we can have more
Mhm.
detailed conversation around it. I'm sharing some very, very brief things about the model that we are coming up with.
Right.
There are nuances to it, but at
Mhm.
the same time, I want you to understand that we have to incentivize the farmers to
For
retain them.
sure. Why would
If
anybody want to be working for nothing? Because it
correct,
takes a lot of
correct,
time. They do not have that time on their hands. They have got better
correct.
things to do. If not anything, did say, why am I even included in this conversation if it's not beneficial to me?
Absolutely. And now, if you look at the world trend, initially there were big organizations where we have given our free data, where we ourselves are data to them. But
Right.
now governments have started questioning it. GDPR came into place. The customers
Mhm.
or people like us have the option to not share our data. Or
Right.
there are new conditions coming in, if the data can be sold. These are new trending
Right.
topics in
Mhm.
cross industries. And so this is also a valuable topic or an insightful topic for farmers and the cotton value chain too.
For sure. Does this all operate on that app though? How they're being revenued through that app only, the farmers?
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, there are more nuances, more detailing to it that can be explained. We have delivered webinars to explain how the app is going to work. But
Right.
yes, farmers become a part of the model, and they can earn from the data that they will be providing because they
That's
are adding value to the value chain. Yes.
that's actually very impressive.
That's great. Yeah, Sourcery is coming up with some very innovative ideas,
Mm-hmm.
and digitization is what we expect is going to scale things up. Our innovative ideas are around transparent trade, verified impact, equitable impact,
Mm-hmm.
and digitization to scale it up.
Right. Okay. So, in today's competitive landscape, differentiation is crucial and critical. So, how can adopting these transparent trade models enhance the reputation of suppliers and give them an edge in the global markets?
So, I don't know if you've heard about the upcoming regulations from US and EU,
Mm-hmm.
and even uh, something. Again, there are many more details to it, but one of them is called EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that gets imported into Europe or USA will have to come with complete supply chain data, complete traceability, complete details about the original sources of the material. So now, if whoever is exporting, the organization who's exporting that product has to provide these complete details. And the initial briefs are coming in now, and this is soon going to be mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
The governments, the EU and US governments are giving industries time till hopefully 2026 to be able to transition into these modes and get ready for mandatory implementation from 2026 onwards. So
Mm-hmm.
today we are finishing up with 2024. We
2024.
still like 13 months to start gearing up to it.
Right.
And if we don't, then, we will lag behind. We will be behind in the race. Obviously, there will be more trust from buyers on organizations who have worked on these models, who have already built these models and are
Mm-hmm.
ready to take off. So now is our time to get ready and mark ourselves differently.
Right.
Traditionally, the supply chain works in an opaque manner. But not only that it is going to be mandatory, there are other reasons. If we want more trust from the buyers,
Mm-hmm.
then we have to work on adapting towards what the future demands are going to be. And offering transparency today marks you differently from your competitors. You are going to be looked at as a more reliable source. You're going to have a better market reputation. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
have more trust from buyers, and and this is how you're going to be ready for. You're going to work and develop your own adaptability. Without adaptability, without evolving, it's very hard to sustain businesses.
Things are changing
So,
overnight for sure.
absolutely. So,
Mm-hmm.
enhanced market reputation, improved risk management, lowering uncertainties, and direct engagement and more favorable, trustworthy engagement from buyers. That is what you're going to achieve if you adapt transparency
Right.
in your trading. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the transparency, this entire talk, this is not just supporting ethical trade, it also brings measurable efficiency to the operations.
Absolutely. How transparency I mean, we have been in engagement with so many suppliers on transparent trade programs in the past, and what we have learned from their feedback, from their insights, from their thoughts, is that
Mhm.
how it worked out for them, because they had more visibility, there was more engagement, there was timely communication. When you have better relationship, it's easier to navigate through complexities. The industry has been going through a lot of complexities lately, and it's only getting worse with certifications, with suspensions, with um, so many new regulations. There is a lot of newness, there is a lot to learn, there is a lot of navigation that is required in today's world.
Yes.
So when we work on transparency, there is more visibility, there is more trust, there is more accountability. All of this leads to better relationships, longer relationships, and with better relationships, there is better supply of trade, reliable supply of trade, lower uncertainty, and safe environment to trade with people. So
Right.
that's if there is regular communication and better navigation, and there is removal of intermediaries. You're saving on your costs, you're saving on your time, you're saving on your warehousing,
Mm-hmm.
you're saving on so many add-ons from the uncertainties. All this adds to better efficiencies in operations.
Right. So that brings us to the end. Your insights have been incredibly enlightening, especially on how transparency can act as a catalyst for sustainability and efficiency as well. It's truly inspiring to see how you and Sourcery and the professionals are working to create a more ethical and sustainable future. Before we wrap up, do you have a final message? Do you have perhaps the importance or how all of this conversation, why is it crucial?
So the most important thing is for us as a sector to move from transactional relationship to collaborative relationship. What we also call this is from moving from transactional relationship to transformational relationship. We have been on a transactional relationship till now. We have seen how far we could come or where we could reach. It's still very complex. It's still very
Mhm.
opaque. And
Right.
to move towards more collaboration, to move towards more transformation, this is what needs to be done. Coming together, working on solutions together. Alone buying side cannot change everything. Alone supplying side cannot change everything. It has to be a collaboration and contribution from both supplying side and buying side. It is all going to work out if we get into long-term commitments and accountability from each partner that they're going to do the right thing. So if we keep treating sustainability and commercial side or commercial business as different domains, then there is only so much we can achieve. But if we adapt the right practices, sustainability is ultimately right practices. So if we
Mm-hmm.
adapt this into business, that's when we can transform trade for good.
Thank you so much once again. I'm so glad to have you here today.
Thank you for this opportunity, Payal. It's I'm always very glad. My managing director, Crispin Argento, our co-founder of Sourcery, he
Mhm.
is always so expressive, and I have learned so much from him. That is how we are building Sourcery models, and it's it's a great opportunity for us to be able to share with the whole supply chain, for the whole sector, of how this model is able to address so many challenges because this model is built on the feedback from the industry. So
Mhm.
that's our message. Everyone, please, take, I mean, please work towards adopting transparency. That's your first step towards sustainability.
Right. About that model, we'll have to chat more. But for
Of
now,
course.
I will let you go and not take any more of your time. We're all short on time. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you. All right. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Good day. Bye bye.